Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. The St. Croix District Board of Elections met Wednesday for their monthly meeting. The work is just beginning for officials to meet the timeline of 2014 election, and that discussion was underway. News 2's Erica Parsons has that story.
Preparations for the 2014 elections are rolling along.
The joint board will be the one to decide.
The St. Croix Election Board District's agenda was focused on making sure the voting systems and processes for the upcoming election are in place. A motion passed to form a committee dedicated to establishing policy and procedures leading up to the election. The St. Croix district voted previously to adopt a screening questionnaire for candidates. It raised questions at the last joint board meeting in December. Supervisor Fox has requested a legal opinion from the Attorney General. Board members also took action.
I know we had a lot of different areas that were not clear, so I sent to the legal opinions.
The motion was that some of us meet with the Attorney General to go through the questionnaire, right, to see the legality of it.
The legal counsel could write an opinion what she would like to see. But you cannot force a district board as to what questions to ask.
Instead of killing the questionnaire by motion, the motion was to have the AG opine along with the people that crafted the document. It's not the AG determining for the board whether or not it's legal or illegal. It's having a conversation and discussion, and then that same group bring it back to the joint boards, that final document.
To comply with the Military Overseas and Voter Empowerment Act, the elections calendar had to change, and the primary election now falls on August 2nd. None of the board chairs have signed off on the final elections calendar, and the supervisor says their approval is critical. The board also discussed considering having candidates' pictures on the ballot, but that decision will be made later. The political parties have been notified about the earlier primary, so they too can prepare to meet the new timeline. Erica Parsons, News 2.
And the board will hold their monthly voter registration drive and voting machine demonstrations. Some polling places may have to be consolidated, and the board will work together to make a determination quickly. Former Schneider Regional Medical Center Chief Executive Officer Rodney Miller Sr. was sentenced to 21 months in prison for tax fraud. Miller will also be expected to pay $86,798 to the Virgin Islands Internal Revenue Bureau after serving his time. In addition, Miller will also be on supervisory probation for 1 year after imprisonment and will be required to enroll in educational classes during both of his time of incarceration and probation. In September, a jury convicted Miller of causing, aiding, and assisting in the preparation of a false and fraudulent 2006 income tax return. Miller also faces a multitude of other criminal charges in a different case in the VI Superior Court, but the case is currently rescheduled for a retrial. The case against a corrections officer charged with taking drugs into the Golden Grove prison is moving to federal court. 33-year-old Yasmin Massacot was arraigned Wednesday. The Attorney General's office removed themselves from the case with a statement of no prosecution, and the U.S. Attorney's Office is now prosecuting Massacot, who was arrested in December. She was charged with possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. She was also charged with introduction of narcotics into a prison facility. Police are still actively investigating cases throughout the territory and is asking for the community's support in solving these crimes. Remember, if your tip leads to an arrest or the recovery of stolen property, illegal drugs, or weapons, you will receive a cash reward of up to $2,500 to be paid according to your instructions. News 2's Shanika Robinson has your latest Crime Stoppers report.
Shortly before midnight on Sunday, December 29th, a man was talking on his cell phone in the vicinity of Scotiabank on King Street in Christiansted when he was attacked from behind and robbed by 4 males. Items stolen included his cell phone, keys, iPod, and cash. The robbers then ran towards the north. There have been several robberies fitting this profile in the Christiansted area over the past few months. Law enforcement needs your help to identify and arrest these robbers. Let's make 2014 a safer year. Within the past several weeks, police on St. John have received reports that several spare tires from Jeeps have been stolen. These thefts occurred in the areas of Maho Bay, Hawks Nest, and the Le Parents Trail on Centerline Road. Please help police identify and arrest the thieves. On Friday, December 27th at about 9:25 p.m., 51-year-old Alwyn Cornelius Samuel of Estate Nadir was walking home. As he arrived at his gate, a masked black male was exiting his yard. He rushed Mr. Samuel and a scuffle ensued. During the scuffle, the victim was shot twice and died. The suspect then fled the scene. Anyone with information regarding this shooting is asked to contact the Major Crime Unit at 340-642-8449, or if you need to remain anonymous, contact Crime Stoppers USVI. Let's continue to help make our community a safer place by submitting information on these or any other crimes at www.crimestoppersusvi.org or simply calling 1-800-222-8477. Shaniqua Robinson, News 2.
Now, next door over in the BVI, some Christmas gifts are being confiscated. Operations by officers of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force within the last 2 months has resulted in the seizure of 10 cycles, 5 oversized motorbikes, and 5 scooters for not being licensed, insured, and registered. And those are some of the cycles there in the picture. Now, none of the scooter riders were at the time of the seizure wearing helmets. The scooters are being held until the owners can produce the necessary documentation. The acting superintendent noted that, by law, the lack of necessary credentials to operate a cycle will result in the seizure of that cycle. However, the lack of a helmet will only result in a ticket and fine. Back here at home, Governor John DeYoung on Monday welcomed to the shores of St. Thomas U.S. Coast Guard Lieutenant Nkosi Thomas and the crew of the cutter Sitinak. Lieutenant Thomas, the son of Randolph and Janelle Thomas, is a Virgin Islands native son and the first known Virgin Islander to assume command of a Coast Guard cutter. Based in Miami, Florida, Thomas has been at the helm of the cutter since July 2012. The vessel's mission includes counter-drug operations, search and rescue, and alien migrant interdiction. The cutter's commander is a 2003 graduate of Shalinamali High School and a 2008 graduate of the U.S. Coast Guard Academy. He's married to Jennifer Thomas of St. Thomas. Well, meanwhile, the crew of the Coast Guard cutter Cushing rescued 10 Wednesday morning and are searching for 2 others who reportedly remain missing. Approximately 3 nautical miles west of Mona Island, Puerto Rico, the crew detected a migrant boat attempting to make landfall on Mona Island when they observed the group of migrants jump into the water as the migrant boat proceeded to flee the area with 3 other people on board. Coast Guard also launched a helicopter to assist with the search. The rescued migrants were all wearing life jackets when they were recovered from the water. However, it remains unclear if the 2 missing migrants were wearing any at the time. The memoirs of former Defense Secretary Robert Gates will be released next week, but Washington is already buzzing about the harsh criticism it throws at President Obama. Susan McGinnis is in Washington with the story.
In a rare leveling of criticism of a sitting president, former Defense Secretary Robert Gates blasts President Obama's leadership and commitment to the Afghanistan war in Duty, Memoirs of a Secretary at War. Gates, a Republican who served under Presidents Obama and George W. Bush, writes that during a meeting in 2011, he concluded the president doesn't believe in his own strategy and doesn't consider the war to be his. For him, it's all about getting out. CBS's Rita Braver interviewed Gates about the book and says Gates states the president doubted the troop surge he ordered in Afghanistan.
While he praises President Obama for ordering more troops in Afghanistan against the wishes of his own party and even others within the White House, he says that he believes that the president never had a passion for pursuing the war in Afghanistan.
In the book, Gates also slams Vice President Joe Biden, writing, "I think he has been wrong on nearly every major foreign policy and national security issue over the past 4 decades." In a statement issued by the National Security Council, the White House says the president disagrees with Gates' assessment, but has always welcomed different views within his team.
Meanwhile, keeping our eye on the economy, an improving U.S. job market convinced Federal Reserve officials last month to begin scaling back their bond buying program beginning in January. Minutes from last month's Fed meeting also revealed that some policymakers worry the economy may be too fragile to withstand a reduction in stimulus. Now, there is some encouraging news about the job market. U.S. businesses added 223,000 jobs in December. That's the fastest pace of hiring in over a year, according to a private survey. Friday, we'll get the government's jobs report. This is the New York Stock Exchange with Scotiabank Stock Market Watch. The Dow and S&P down, the Dow 68, S&P down also, NASDAQ up 12. Coming up on News 2, at least 21 people have died during this record-breaking cold spell. Millions of Americans have felt the chill, but relief for those in the cold may be coming soon, now that the infamous polar vortex, which brought the bone-chilling cold, will soon. Senator Alicia Hansen is calling for the government to pull its support from Seabourn, including any contracts they may have. In December, Seabourn announced plans to move their headquarters and make Puerto Rico their hub. In response, the senator is submitting legislation to stop all government agencies from supporting the airline carrier financially.
The people of the Virgin Islands that made Seabourn strong. I submitted a legislative proposal that will prohibit all central government, the local courts, the hospitals, the Virgin Islands Port Authority, WICO, Waste Management Authority, and all other semi-autonomous entities, including EDC companies, from spending any further funds with Seabourn Airlines. We have to send the message loud and clear that you cannot get fat eaten at our table for years, then kick us in the butt and still continue to eat from our table.
Meanwhile, the popular Comfort Inn Hotel in San Juan, franchised by Choice Hotels International, one of the world's largest hotel franchisors, is optimistic about increased business from the Caribbean market in 2014 as regional carriers expand and upgrade. They say Seabourn Airlines continues to expand its operations and fill the void left by American Eagle at the San Juan hub. But Azmina Mawani, general manager of the Comfort Inn of San Juan, she says she also has her eyes on Caribbean Air carrier Liat and its recent upgrade, stating that what's happening with Liat as it transitions from the aging Dash 8 fleet to the brand new ATR aircraft can only benefit small hoteliers. Well, at least 21 people have died during this record-breaking cold spell. Millions of Americans have felt the chill, but as Marley Hall reports, relief may be coming soon.
Every state in the continental U.S. is expected to see at least one city with below freezing temperatures this morning. But the now infamous polar vortex, which brought the bone-chilling cold, will soon be heading back where it belongs.
By the time we get into Thursday, the 50s are creeping a little farther northward. The sub-zero highs move well back into Canada, and then most folks are above zero at the very least for Friday.
The storm can't leave soon enough.
I want it to end, like I'm done with winter.
Dozens of cities broke record lows Tuesday, including Pittsburgh and New York, which were set more than a century ago.
It's expected to be in the 50s by this weekend in New York, but here in Central Park, we still started the day in the single digits.
Even cities used to the cold are having problems. Near Buffalo, New York, the Niagara River is freezing over, causing flooding.
It's a lot scary. It's pretty, like I said, it's unseen before.
Frustrated airline passengers are looking forward to flying again.
I've had 7 flights canceled.
On JetBlue alone, more than 150,000 passengers have had their flights canceled in the last week. Marley Hall for CBS News, New York.
Meanwhile, weather in our area, Bernie tracks the tropic. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.